Imagine it is the year 2026. Two young individuals, Sarah and Mike, are standing at the starting line of their adult lives. Both are 22 years old, ambitious, and ready to conquer the world. Sarah has just graduated from a prestigious university with a degree in communications. She walks across the stage, receives her diploma, and feels the weight of a $100,000 student loan debt on her shoulders. At the same time, Mike is also 22. He skipped college and went straight into a trade apprenticeship right after high school. While Sarah was sitting in lecture halls, Mike was earning $45,000 a year and living frugally. Today, Mike has a net worth of $22,000 in savings and investments. Sarah, however, starts her professional life with a net worth of negative $100,000. This is the beginning of a race where one person is already miles ahead, while the other is chained to a massive boulder. In this video, we are going to break down the cold, hard math of debt that no university wants you to see. We will look at why the traditional path to success has become a sophisticated financial trap in 2026. If you find this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment below telling us, do you think a college degree is still the best investment today? Let us dive into the numbers. For decades, we have been told that a college degree is the golden ticket to the middle class. But as we stand here in 2026, the data tells a very different story. Over the last 40 years, the cost of a public university education has increased by over 130%. Meanwhile, the real earnings for college graduates have remained almost flat since the year 2000. We are paying double for a product that yields the same result. In any other industry, we would call this a scam. In education, we call it an investment. The average starting salary for a college graduate in 2026 is around $60,000. After taxes and basic living expenses, Sarah is left with very little. But then comes the student loan payment. To pay off a $100,000 debt at a 6.5% interest rate over 10 years, Sarah must pay $1,137 every single month. That is more than most people pay for a car or even a small apartment. While Sarah is struggling to pay for her past, Mike is investing in his future. Mike decides to take just $400 of his monthly income and put it into a low-cost index fund. By the time they both reach the age of 30, the gap between them has become a canyon. Sarah is finally debt-free, but her net worth is zero. Mike, thanks to the power of compounding interest, now has over $80,000 in his investment account. And here is the terrifying part. Sarah now has to start saving for retirement from zero, while Mike's money has been growing for 12 years. Mathematically, Sarah might not catch up to Mike's net worth until they are 54 years old. Think about that. 32 years of Sarah's life are spent just trying to reach the same financial level as someone who never stepped foot on a campus. This is the math of debt that is never taught in school. Let us dig deeper into the concept of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the value of what you give up when you choose one option over another. For Sarah, the opportunity cost was not just the $100,000 in tuition. It was the 4 years of potential earnings she lost while studying. If Mike earned an average of $40,000 per year during those 4 years, that is $160,000 in gross income. When you add Sarah's debt to Mike's earned income, the actual financial gap at age 22 is over $260,000. This is the hidden tax on higher education that recruiters never mention. By the year 2026, lopsided economic factors have made this gap even more dangerous. Inflation has driven up the cost of rent and groceries, leaving even less room for Sarah to handle her massive loan payments. We must also talk about the risk that everyone ignores. What if Sarah cannot find a job in her field? In 2026, nearly 25% of college programs have a negative return on investment. This means the students would have been financially better off if they had never attended college at all. Degrees in the arts, social work, and psychology are often the biggest offenders. Students take on massive debt for jobs that pay $40,000 a year. It is a mathematical impossibility to pay off a 6-figure debt with that income while trying to build a life. In the 2026 job market, artificial intelligence has also begun to automate many entry-level white-collar roles. Junior marketing assistants, basic researchers, and administrative staff are being replaced by algorithms. Many of the degrees being sold today are for jobs that will not exist by the time the student reaches their 30s. Furthermore, student loans in the United States are a unique kind of trap. In almost every other form of debt, you have the protection of bankruptcy. If your business fails, or you get medical bills you cannot pay, you can start over. But student loans are nearly impossible to discharge in bankruptcy. This debt follows you to the grave. It can even be deducted from your social security checks when you are 70 years old. The system is designed to ensure the lenders get paid, regardless of whether the student succeeds. The universities have no skin in the game. They get their money up front from the government, while the 18-year-old student takes all the risk. This creates a massive incentive for colleges to keep raising prices. They know the government will keep providing the loans, and students will keep signing for them because they do not understand the math. We are seeing a phenomenon called degree inflation. Jobs that used to require a high school diploma now suddenly require a bachelor's degree, not because the job is harder, but because there are so many people with degrees that employers use them as a simple filter. We are paying $100,000 for a filter, not for a skill. Imagine a company hiring for a customer service role. They see 1,000 applicants. They do not have time to interview everyone, so they simply click a button to delete every resume that does not have a college degree. This has nothing to do with competence. It is a lazy HR tactic that has forced an entire generation into debt just to be seen. This brings us to the question of retirement. According to the latest data from the Federal Reserve in 2026, only 1.8% of American households have over $2 million in their retirement accounts. The primary reason people fail to save is not that they spend too much on coffee. It is because they start too late. When you spend your 20s and 30s paying back debt, you miss the most critical years for compounding interest. Every dollar Sarah pays to the bank is a dollar that cannot work for her. Let us look at the math of Sarah's lost decade. If Sarah could have invested that $1,137 every month instead of paying the bank, she would have had over $180,000 by age 32. If she never touched that money again, it could have grown to over $1.5 million by the time she retired. That is the true cost of a degree. It is not just $100,000, it is $1.5 million in lost retirement wealth. If you are enjoying this analysis, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We want to help you make smarter financial decisions in this complex economy. So, what is the solution? Does this mean no one should go to college? Absolutely not. But it means you must stop looking at college as a rite of passage and start looking at it as a business transaction. In 2026, the era of following your passion without a financial plan is officially over. First, you must calculate the return on investment before you sign any loan papers. If the total debt for the degree is higher than your expected first-year salary, you are making a bad trade. If you want to be a social worker earning $45,000 a year, do not go into $80,000 of debt to get the degree. Second, consider the 2+2 strategy. Attend a community college for the first 2 years at a fraction of the cost, then transfer to a university. The diploma will look exactly the same, but the debt will be 50% lower. In 2026, many community colleges have direct pipelines into top-tier universities. It is the smartest financial move a young person can make. Third, look at the trades. These jobs often pay more than many corporate roles and require zero debt to enter. Many trade unions will actually pay you to learn while you work. Fourth, if you must go to a top-tier school, ensure you are pursuing a high ROI field, like engineering, medicine, or computer science. We must also challenge the cultural narrative, but taking out a Parent Plus loan that ruins your own retirement is not an act of love. It is an act of financial suicide. Children would rather have parents who are financially independent in their old age than a degree that their parents are still paying for 20 years later. We live in an era where information is free, but credentials are expensive. Do not confuse the two. You can get a world-class education for free on the internet, but you are paying for the piece of paper. Make sure that paper is actually worth the price you are paying. In 2026, self-taught developers, digital creators, and entrepreneurs are proving that the gatekeepers are losing their power. Skill is becoming more important than a stamp from a university. Remember Mike and Sarah. The difference between them wasn't intelligence or hard work. The difference was their understanding of the math of debt At age 18, Mike understood that time is the most valuable asset in finance. Sarah was told to follow her dreams, but she wasn't told that her dreams would come with a mortgage-sized debt before she even owned a home. As we navigate through 2026, the financial landscape is harsher than ever. Housing prices are high, and inflation continues to eat away at our purchasing power. You cannot afford to start your life in a deep hole. Society will try to pressure you. Your friends will tell you that everyone has debt, but everyone is also struggling to pay their bills. Everyone is stressed out and unable to buy a house. Everyone is one paycheck away from a crisis. Do not be like everyone. Be the person who questions the system. Be the person who runs the numbers. Education is a lifelong journey, but a degree is just a tool. Don't let the tool become the cage that locks you into a life of financial stress. The math does not lie. Debt is the weight that slows down your journey to freedom. Choose your path wisely. Invest in your skills, not just in your credentials. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes, share it with a student or a parent who needs to hear this truth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Do you regret your student loans? Or was your degree worth every penny? Have you seen the benefits of skipping college for a trade? Let us start a conversation that helps everyone build a more secure financial future. The world is changing, and your financial strategy must change with it. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye.